Good morning. As the sun rises over America's airports, a sense of uncertainty hangs in the air. Today, November 7th, 2025, America faces an unprecedented crisis. A government shutdown now in its 38th day. The headlines are everywhere, and the frustration is growing. The effects are everywhere, but nowhere more visible than in our nation's airports. Travelers are met with confusion and anxiety as they navigate terminals filled with uncertainty. The federal government has ordered major airports to reduce flights, a drastic move that's thrown the airline industry and travelers into chaos. Schedules have been slashed, and the ripple effects are being felt across the country. Canceled flights, long delays, and confusion are the new normal for millions. Families are stranded, business trips are derailed, and vacations are put on indefinite hold. For airport workers, the stress is mounting as they struggle to keep operations running. Many are working without pay, unsure when relief will come, yet still showing up to keep the system moving. This isn't just about politics. It's about the real-world consequences when leaders can't find common ground. The gridlock in Congress has left ordinary Americans to bear the brunt of the fallout. The safety of every passenger and the livelihoods of federal workers are at stake. Security lines grow longer, and the people who keep us safe are stretched to their limits. Planes sit idle on the tarmac, and the silence on once busy runways is a stark reminder of how deeply this shutdown has affected daily life. We'll explore why this step was taken, how it's affecting everyone involved, and what it reveals about the deep divisions in our leadership. The stories of those impacted are as varied as the reasons behind the shutdown itself. We'll hear from both sides of the aisle, including a rare moment of agreement between a Democrat and the Trump administration. Even in crisis, there are glimpses of unity and hope. The shutdown's impact stretches from airport operations to the broader economy. Businesses that rely on travel are suffering, and the ripple effects are being felt in every corner of the country. Ultimately, this is a story about the urgent need for a solution, because the stability of our skies and the well-being of our citizens hang in the balance. The nation waits, hoping for leaders to rise above division and restore order to America's skies. The FAA, under Transportation Secretary Duffy, has just announced a significant move. 40 of the nation's busiest airports are being ordered to cut flights by 4%, effective immediately. This decision comes as a direct response to mounting challenges within the aviation system, and it's sending shockwaves through the entire industry. The main reason behind these cuts is a severe shortage of staff, especially among air traffic controllers. These professionals are already stretched to their limits, working long hours under immense pressure to keep flights safe and on schedule. The shortage has reached a critical point, making it impossible to maintain normal operations without risking safety. If the government shutdown continues, the situation will only get worse. The FAA warns that flight cuts could deepen to as much as 10% by next week, grounding even more planes and stranding thousands of travelers. The ripple effects could disrupt travel plans across the country. Safety is the top priority here. Fewer controllers on duty means a higher risk of mistakes, and the FAA is determined to avoid any dangerous incidents. By scaling back flights, they hope to reduce the workload and prevent errors that could have serious consequences for passengers and crew. Airlines have been forced to scramble, canceling hundreds of flights, mostly on domestic routes. This has left countless travelers frustrated, with plans upended and uncertainty about when they'll reach their destinations. The chaos at airports is a direct result of the system's fragility. The air traffic control system is a delicate, highly coordinated operation. Without enough trained professionals at the helm, the entire network is at risk of grinding to a halt. Every flight relies on these experts to guide planes safely through crowded skies. The Trump administration's actions highlight just how essential federal employees are to the smooth functioning of daily life. When these workers are missing, the impact is felt immediately, from the airport to the broader economy. The FAA's decision, while highly disruptive, is ultimately about putting public safety first. Officials say they have no choice but to act now to prevent a potential disaster. It's a stark admission. This government shutdown has pushed the aviation system to a breaking point, exposing vulnerabilities that can't be ignored. Without swift action to resolve the crisis, the strain on America's skies will only intensify, threatening to disrupt travel and commerce for millions more in the weeks ahead. In a rare show of unity, Democratic Representative Greg Stanton of Arizona publicly supported the Trump administration's decision to cut flights for safety. Stanton, whose district includes Phoenix Sky Harbor, called the FAA's order the right call and emphasized that safety must always come first. His support signals that, at least for now, air safety transcends party lines. Stanton also urged an end to the political standoff that caused the crisis. This bipartisan agreement separates air safety from the budget fight, showing the threat is real and recognized by both sides. Critics, however, argue the cuts are being used as political leverage. Still, Stanton's stance helps reassure the public that protecting lives is the top priority. In aviation, tough calls must be made, regardless of politics. Behind the headlines are the air traffic controllers, essential workers required to show up every day, but now doing so without pay. For 38 days, they've kept our skies safe while struggling to pay bills and support their families. The financial and emotional toll is immense. Many are taking second jobs or calling in sick from stress and exhaustion. These absences have led directly to the staffing shortages now crippling the system. The job demands intense focus and split-second decisions. Add financial insecurity, and it's a recipe for disaster. Controllers' dedication is being pushed to the limit, and the system is breaking because its people are being broken. This is the human cost of the shutdown, real families, real struggles, and a vital service on the brink. When public servants aren't supported, the services we all depend on begin to crumble. TSA officers, like air traffic controllers, are essential workers, showing up at airport security checkpoints every day, unpaid. Their job is demanding and often thankless, but now they face the added burden of financial uncertainty. Many live paycheck to paycheck, and the loss of income is devastating. More officers are calling out sick, unable to afford the commute or overwhelmed by stress. Fewer officers mean longer security lines and slower screening, frustrating travelers and increasing pressure on those still working. Despite hardship, most TSA officers continue to serve with professionalism, understanding the critical importance of their mission. But exhaustion and financial insecurity make mistakes more likely, threatening security. The situation is a clear example. The shutdown isn't just inconvenient, it's a growing threat to the safety and stability of air travel. The resilience of these workers is remarkable, but it cannot be taken for granted. A secure aviation system depends on a supported, stable workforce. For millions of travelers, the shutdown has turned air travel into a nightmare of cancellations and delays. What was once a routine journey has become a stressful ordeal, with uncertainty lurking at every step. Over 3 million passengers have already been affected, with major airports reporting hour-long delays and hundreds of flights grounded. The ripple effects are being felt across the country, as travelers scramble to adjust their plans and airlines struggle to keep up. The domino effect is real. A canceled domestic flight can mean missed international connections, lost business opportunities, or missing out on important family milestones. For many, these disruptions are more than just an inconvenience. They can have lasting consequences. With fewer flights, planes are more crowded, and rebooking is nearly impossible as customer service lines are overwhelmed. Travelers are left waiting for hours, sometimes days, just to speak with an agent or find an available seat. The uncertainty is the worst part. No one knows if their flight next week will even take off. Plans are put on hold, and the stress of not knowing what comes next weighs heavily on everyone. Confidence in the air travel system is eroding, making people hesitant to book future trips. Many are reconsidering vacations, business meetings, and even family reunions, unsure if travel will be possible. This chaos is a direct result of political gridlock, with everyday citizens paying the price. The frustration is growing, as travelers and workers alike demand answers and solutions. The smooth, reliable transportation network we take for granted is more fragile than we realized. The shutdown has exposed just how quickly things can unravel when the system is pushed to its limits. The shutdown's impact is personal, immediate, and deeply disruptive. Every traveler has a story, missed moments, lost time, and mounting stress. The longer it drags on, the more the pain spreads, touching more lives and making recovery even harder for everyone involved. The shutdown is rooted in a bitter budget standoff. Democrats demand an extension of Obamacare health subsidies, while Republicans refuse to tie policy measures to government funding. With neither side willing to compromise, the government remains unfunded and thousands of employees furloughed. The chaos at airports is just one symptom of this larger political deadlock. Both parties believe they're standing on principle, but it's ordinary citizens who suffer. Essential services are disrupted, and federal workers are caught in the crossfire. Until compromise is found, the shutdown and its consequences will continue. The shutdown's impact ripples far beyond airports, chilling the entire U.S. economy. Hundreds of thousands of unpaid federal workers are cutting back on spending, hurting local businesses and slowing growth. White House advisors warn the shutdown could cut economic growth in half, from 3% to just 1.5%. Consumer confidence has plummeted to a 3-year low, as Americans grow anxious about their finances and the government's stability. People are delaying big purchases and saving more, which only deepens the slowdown. The shutdown's reach is broad. Even food assistance programs like SNAP face disruption, causing fear among vulnerable families. A federal judge had to intervene to ensure full benefits were paid. The incident highlights how the shutdown disrupts basic government functions people rely on. The longer the shutdown lasts, the greater the economic damage. Political gridlock is now a threat to the nation's prosperity. The chaos in our skies, the hardship for federal workers, and the economic damage all point to one urgent conclusion. The shutdown must end. Cutting flights is a temporary fix, not a solution. Our aviation system can't run on unpaid, overworked professionals. Bipartisan support for the FAA's decision shows safety can rise above politics. But real leadership is needed to resolve the crisis. The American people want a government that works, not endless political battles. Air traffic controllers, TSA officers, and their families deserve better. They should not bear this burden another day. The stability of our skies, our economy, and public trust are all at stake. It's time for leaders to compromise, end the shutdown, and let America's planes fly safely once more.